congratulations on
Thank
behalf
you.
of Vision Eyes and all the students. I just want to know that first of all कि आपकी तैयारी आपने जो है कितने टाइम से आप पहले स्टार्ट की थी?
I started my preparation in 2020 and this was my third attempt. 21 में मैंने first attempt दी थी. I went till interview but I missed my marks in the final list by 13 numbers. फिर मैंने second attempt दिया, उसमें भी मेरा rank आया था. I got 334 all India rank. बट उससे मेरा IAS नहीं हो रहा था. I got allocated Indian Defence State Service. फिर से मुझे ऐसा था कि सब लोग सोचते कि IAS ही बनना है, तो मैंने फिर से अटेम्प्ट दिया टू गेट इनटू IAS एंड इस बार आई गॉट ऑल इंडिया रैंक 36.
अपनी इस पूरी जो है जर्नी में इन दिस होल जर्नी लाइक whom you want to dedicate your success?
टू माई पेरेंट्स, टू माई टीचर्स एंड टू ऑल माई वेल विशर्स, क्योंकि ये जर्नी में से बहुत बार था कि मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था कि नो आई शुड गिव अप, क्योंकि आफ्टर इनिशियल फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में मोटिवेशन होता है, लेकिन आफ्टर सब्सिक्वेंट अटेम्प्ट्स मेरे पास वो हिम्मत नहीं था. बट देयर वर पीपल हु स्टूड बाय मी, देयर वर पीपल हु बिलीव्ड इन मी. सो स्पेशली माई मदर. आई स्टिल रिमेंबर कि जब मैं अभ्यास देने आती थी, मैं अकेले नहीं आती थी, मेरी मम्मी मुझे अकम्पनी करती थी. तो आई थिंक माई मदर इज़ द फर्स्ट वन, फिर बाकी पेरेंट्स, पापा, भाई एंड माई वेल विशर्स, क्लोज फ्रेंड्स. आई जॉइन देयर टेस्ट सीरीज और सबसे ज़्यादा सपोर्ट था कि मैं कंटिन्यूसली 3 बार मैंने अभ्यास दिया था, जो मेंस का अभ्यास होता है. तो दैट इज़ द एग्जैक्ट रेप्लिका ऑफ योर मेंस एग्जामिनेशन. उससे मेरा टाइम मैनेजमेंट में मुझे काफ़ी हेल्प मिला था. एंड दिस टाइम मैंने जितना स्कोर भी किया था इन माई एक्चुअल एग्जाम, तो जो अभ्यास कोर्स थे वो काफ़ी सिमिलर थे. आई थिंक ऑलमोस्ट इट वॉज सिमिलर, दो सब्जेक्ट वाइज डिफरेंस थे, लेकिन टोटल स्कोर वॉज सिमिलर. Preparation, I took online courses. I stayed in my hometown only. वहाँ से मैंने ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज लिए. 3 साल का था तो मैंने बहुत सारे कोर्सेज लिए थे. कभी ये लिया, मैंने बहुत ज़्यादा हिट एंड ट्रायल किया था कि कभी ये ले लिया, कभी वो ले लिया. एंड देन आई ये देखा कि कौन सा चीज़ मेरे लिए ज़्यादा काम कर रहा है.
So like what message would you like to give to students, aspirants who are preparing or going to give the prelims? What they should do?
प्रीलिम्स तो आजकल काफ़ी ज़्यादा अनसर्टन हो रहा है. सो आई वुड से कि आपका जो स्ट्रेंथ पॉइंट्स है, जैसे मेरे केस में पॉलिटी इकोनॉमी वाज माई एरिया, तो उस पर मैं काफ़ी ज़्यादा वहाँ से क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट करती थी. और बहुत ज़्यादा मैंने प्रैक्टिस किया हुआ था टेस्ट सीरीज अराउंड 70 to 80. तो उसको कीजिए. एंड यूपीएससी का पैटर्न को समझने के लिए द बेस्ट सोर्स इज प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस. तो उनको आप अच्छे से एनालिसिस कीजिए, उस पर रिसर्च कीजिए, उसके ऑप्शंस के बिहाइंड जो लॉजिक है वो समझिए. आप एग्जामिनर का लॉजिक को समझने का ट्राई कीजिए कि हाउ द एग्जामिनर इज सेटिंग द क्वेश्चंस. तो इस वजह से आप प्रैक्टिस कीजिए. आप खुद का स्ट्रैटेजी आपको खुद डिवाइस करना है. आपको देखना है कि आप कितना अटेम्प्ट करने से आपका पीक पहुंच रहा है मार्क्स. तो वो सब करके आप अपना स्ट्रैटेजी डिवाइस कीजिए. प्रैक्टिस एंड रिविजन इज़ द की. ज़्यादा रिसोर्स फॉलो नहीं करके कम रिसोर्सेज को पढ़िए, लेकिन बार बार उसको रिवाइज कीजिए.
Okay, ma'am. So once again, it's heartiest congratulations from Vision side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening everyone, this is Ayushi Pradhan and I have secured All India rank 36 in UPSC 2023. So thank you for coming here and here I will be sharing my strategy. So I will start with a brief introduction about my preparation and my academic background. So basically I am an engineer. How many engineers here? Okay, so not much. I expected more engineers. So I did my graduation in computer science from CET College in 2019. After that, I have worked for 1 year in IT sector. In 2020, during COVID times, I resigned from my job and I started wholeheartedly for this UPSC examination. 21 was my first attempt. I fortunately cleared prelims, then mains, I went till interview. But I missed the final list by 13 marks. After the result, just 4 days, result came on Tuesday and Sunday we had the 2022 prelims. So I appeared for the prelims again in 2022. I cleared prelims, mains, interview, and 2022 I got All India rank 334. I was allocated IDES, but from the beginning I wanted to become an IAS officer, and therefore, despite getting rank, I reappeared for the exam. And this time, finally, by God's grace and my parents' blessing, I got All India rank 36. So this is my brief journey about UPSC. So initially I will be sharing my strategy, like what all worked for me. Since it was a long journey, so I had referred to multiple resources. I had taken help from multiple people and multiple coachings. But I will just share which I felt was relevant to me and which I felt added value addition in my preparation. So after I share my strategy, you all can ask whatever individual doubts you have. My optional subject is anthropology. So how many have decided anthropology? Okay, so I can see there are many people in anthropology. I will be sharing my GS strategy, and do you want that I will be sharing anthro strategy also? Okay, I will after GS I will also share my anthro strategy. So first I will be starting with prelims. So prelims is just few days. So first we'll start with prelims. So first I will talk about the resources which I had referred. So for polity, the only resource I referred is Lakshmikant. Trust me, you don't need to refer to anything except Lakshmikant. That is enough for your polity. Read it multiple times. I think till now I had read Lakshmikant at least 7 to 8 times. So you have to read it multiple times. Initially, it might happen that you're not able to understand it. It's okay. You can refer to videos, you can refer to your coaching videos or whatever, but Lakshmikant is your basics. And from here, you will be able to solve almost all the questions. Not a single question in UPSC prelims comes beyond Lakshmikant. And polity economy, where my strength area. I think in prelims, my accuracy in these two subjects was about 90%, because it's a very static subject. Once your concepts are clear, you will be able to attempt maximum questions of polity economy. And I would also advise students that make these two areas your strong areas, polity and economy. Because from here you get around 25 to 30 questions, and you can actually, if your concepts are clear, you can very easily attempt these questions. Third is modern history. In modern history, I referred to Spectrum for my book. Initially, it was very difficult for me to remember facts. I'm not that much good in remembering the facts. But by multiple readings and by multiple solving the questions, it automatically got ingrained in my mind. Fourth is regarding environment. So for environment, I had referred to PMF IAS. Their book is very much comprehensive. It is very much, the presentation is very much up to mark. There are diagrams, there are PYQs. So I referred to that book. Environment is very much dynamic. You get lot of questions from current affairs. So for that, I referred to Visionize PT 365. And there were few concepts in PT 365 which I was not able to understand. So for that, I did Google search. So you can also do that. And whenever you are reading PT 365, try to link it with your static syllabus. If you come across a new concept, try to find out like which part of static it is linked to. And then again go to your basic book and then revise that static concept also. In ancient and medieval, now I'm not very much expert in these two subjects. First of all, the course in these two subjects was very much huge, and in prelims hardly 4 to 5 questions. And that too, there is no guarantee that from which part it will come. So I felt the output ratio is very much less in ancient and medieval. So I devoted quite less time to it. And till now also, if you ask me, I'm not expert in this subject. The basic is NCERT and 11 to 12 Tamil Nadu NCERT books. Also, if you have time, now this should be if you have time, you can also watch Pratik sir videos. He has comprehensive videos on this subjects. But again, they are very much time consuming. So if you have time, you can watch. In my last attempt, I referred to his notes. So if you have time, but that is optional. For art and culture, again the basics NCERT, and the book which I referred was Nitin Singhania. Now here you have to be very much selective. You don't need to refer to the entire syllabus. So
art and architecture and literature, Buddhism, Jainism. These are 4 to 5 areas from which UPSC has been repeatedly asking questions. So just look at the PYQs, identify the themes from which UPSC is asking questions repeatedly and do those properly. Because it is not possible कि art and culture every part you can do. There are part like dance, music. So from there UPSC is not asking questions. So if you don't have time, just leave those part. And again, this is a very much dynamic part. So for that, I refer to PT 365 for my current affairs. So this is my source for prelims. Yes. Sorry. Okay. The rough weightage is polity economy, almost 30% you will get the question. Environment and science and technology carries the next weightage. So for me, my priority was polity, economy, environment, then science and tech. And history was my last priority because output ratio is less in history. You have to read so many things. You have modern history, you have art and culture, you have medieval, you have ancient, and the output ratio is less. It is very much vast, and from there you read so much and you get very much less. So that was my last priority, and polity economy was my first. So you can decide according to your strengths. So in prelims, now when we talk about prelims, your sources, it forms 20% to 30%. The maximum part which I believe in prelims is your test series, because the more questions you practice, the more you get to know where you are going wrong, and it also helps you to improve your retention power. So I attempted minimum 30 to 40 sectionals and minimum 20 full length tests before my actual prelims in 2021. In 20 to 23 I did not get time, so I just referred to PYQs because I just had 4 days after my result. I had 4 days after I had my prelims. In 21, I had given around 40 sectionals and 20 to 30 full length test. Now, just giving test is not important. Once I attempted the test for 2 hours, my next 3 hours went for the analysis. So I used to see where I am making mistake. And if I am making anything correct also, I used to make sure is it I am making it correct because of my actual knowledge, or is it just a guesswork. So that also I used to analyze, and then whatever mistakes I am making, that I used to find out is it a silly mistake, or is it lack of knowledge, or is it something new which I have not read, or am I making a mistake because I am not understanding the question properly. So I used to find out the reason, like why I am making a mistake, and if at all it is a silly mistake, I used to again go to the book and see like why I am making a mistake. Maybe I have understood a concept wrongly. So in that way, I used to read my static book from after the test series, because I identified which areas are my weak area and which areas are my strength areas. Also, I had a separate copies for each subjects, which I mentioned in my last slide for polity economy, and whatever new concepts I'm coming across by giving the test series, that I used to note down in my copy, and those copies were my revision material in my last week of prelims, last 10 days. So in that way I had separate notebooks and separate areas, and those were really helpful because in those notebooks I only had those things which are my weak areas, which I am making mistakes. So those helped me because that same mistake I was not repeating in my actual exam. Besides your test series, you have to also practice the PYQs. Minimum 10 PYQs of UPSC from 2013 to 23. Solve them properly, and also make sure ki you are researching the options which are given in the test series. For example, in environment, there are questions regarding species. So UPSC in the next year, they will ask question from that options. So analyze the PYQs properly, and whichever PYQ you are not able to solve it, note down in your copy. In that same copy which you had made for your test series, you can note it down there. So now I will talk about mains. In prelims, one more thing is your CSAT. Nowadays, CSAT is coming, lot of like people are facing problems in CSAT.
So don't ignore the CSAT portion. I will advise you कि last 5 years CSAT you can practice, and also you can practice lot of test series from CSAT. Since I came from a technical background, I never faced problem in CSAT. But there are a lot of people whom I know personally who have done very well in GS, like they have scored more than 100, but they failed in CSAT. So please don't take CSAT lightly. Uh, so now I will just talk about mains. So coming to GS1, these are the 4 parts in mains. I analyzed the PYQs properly, and I tried to find out the themes of modern history. In modern history, I found that there are few themes which are getting repeated. For example, role of moderates in in the freedom struggle, and what is the role of women freedom fighters. So these things I found that they are getting repeated year after year. So I identified 15 to 20 themes, and I had proper notes for those themes. Coming to art and culture, again I refer to my prelims. One more thing in GS1 is that whatever you have read in prelims, try to use that same knowledge in your mains also, because there is a complete overlap. In prelims you read the facts, but in mains you have to retain those facts and you have to present it properly. So whatever you are learning for prelims, make sure that you are using it in your mains also. So for art and culture, the source remains the same as mains, and for presentation, I practiced test series, and I also had diagram in art and culture. For your mains, you have to do lot of diagrams. So rank 1 2017, he had lot of good diagrams. You can find Anudip sir notes. You can refer to that. And I will also share I had also made compilation of diagrams, so I will also share that. Besides that, there are in art and culture, in mains also there are few areas from where you get question. Again, one is your architecture, Buddhism, Jainism, literature. So from these areas you repeatedly get questions in UPSC mains, and so my focus was also in these particular areas. For geography, I did not made much effort. I refer to my class notes. Regarding society, again, I had optional as anthropology. So there's a lot of overlap between anthropology and society. So I did not made much effort for society. I took the help of Smriti ma'am Vision Eyes. She had her notes for society. Those were very good in society. Uh, and in society, one more important thing is you have to do the PYQs properly, because in one way or the other, they get repeated. And to make your answers different, you have to collect some unique case studies and examples. So for that, I refer to multiple toppers copy. And from there, for example, Shruti ma'am, rank 1 2021, she had lot of unique examples from society and diagrams. So that I made compilation, which I can also use in my answer. Similarly, whenever I came across some good examples from the newspaper, that also I used to note down. And in GS1, there's a lot of repetition from previous years, so PYQ has to be done properly. 2013 to 23, whatever PYQs UPSC had asked, I had proper notes for those PYQs, and I had proper mind map that if such kind of questions are being asked, how am I going to write it in the exam. So I had a proper analysis of the PYQs and proper mind map, like how I'm going to attempt it. So coming to GS2, these are the four areas: polity, governance, international relation, and social issues. In polity, your answer has to be very much dynamic. So for that, you have to actually interlink. The question may be just static, but to get marks in UPSC, you have to write the latest current affairs. So for that, I refer to mains 365 of Vision Eyes. For governance, again the basic notes, and I had taken the unique examples. In governance, you have portions like SHGs, NGOs, pressure groups. So local governance, all these things. So for that, you have to give some unique examples like SHG, everyone is writing the same example of Kudumbashri, so that will not make your answer unique. So you need to have your own examples of SHG. So for that, I took the help of newspaper and toppers notes. In newspaper, just search the keyword SHG and search the latest news, and then you will get 3 to 4 latest news and just note it down. Note the unique examples whatever you find in the latest Google search. In international relation, it's a very much dynamic topic. There is nothing static in IR. So my only source were Mains 365. That was my only source. Dipin sir's video were very much comprehensive in IR. For social issues, again, it's a very dynamic part. So here also I refer to Mains 365. The Smriti ma'am's notes of society and social issues were interlinked, so that also helped me. And in social issues and in polity, you have to mention Supreme Court judgments. Those are very important. So for every topic, I had Supreme Court judgments in my notebook, the validation part. Supreme Court judgment you can find in your Mains 365 topic wise. There also you will get, and in your entire preparation you will come across many judgments. So make sure that whenever you get a question in GS2, you are making use of those judgments. In GS2, to make your answer more attractive, you have to use judgments. You have to use your ARC report. For example, in Panchayat, you have to write ARC recommendations. Then there are few committees name which you have to mention. Like when we talk about your elections, there is Indrajit Gupta committee, so that you have to mention, or there is Sumit Bose committee for Panchayat. So like that, you have to mention lot of committees recommendations in your way forward, your Supreme Court judgments, to make your answers of GS2 more attractive and mark fetching. Coming to the next part, that is your GS3. Now GS3 has economy, science and tech, environment, and it's a very much dynamic part, the most dynamic of all the GS. In GS3, to get marks, you have to write lot of facts, because you cannot talk about economy without facts and figures. So facts and figures has to be in your fingertips. So for that I refer to QEP, and then you have to also refer to the latest budget and economic survey to add value addition in your answer. You have to be very much, at least last 2 to 3 years survey has to be used in your answer. So I had made notes of last 2 to 3 years economic survey and also budget. And for economic questions, I used to make sure that I'm using the concepts from the economic survey and budget. In environment, there are two major topics. One is climate change and pollution. So for that I had separate notes on climate change, like what all I'm going to add, diagrams and all. And for pollution also and waste management, I had separate notes. Besides that, Mains 365 is very much comprehensive. They cover almost all the major parts of environment. And also nowadays UPSC is asking static questions which we learn in prelims. They are asking those questions in mains. For example, in 21, they asked about, I think there was 2 to 3 questions in economy, in your economy mains, which we read during the times of prelims. So whatever you are reading in prelims, just revise that once before your mains, because nowadays they're changing the pattern. So whatever you have read, please revise it once. 1 to 2 times, the last 3 years they have changed the pattern and they're asking questions repeatedly, in GS3 especially. In science and tech, it's completely current affairs, so I refer to Mains 365. And internal security, again it's a very much mark fetching part. So for there I had my own notes. And Mains 365. Also I had missed one more part, is disaster management. So disaster management, now that's a very much mark fetching subject, and almost in all the disasters you have the same points, and for few disasters you have unique points. So just make 3 to 4 pages notes of disaster management. You have to draw a diagram like how do you manage a disaster, and there are NDMC guidelines. There are some guidelines which remain common to all the disaster. So in one page, just make notes of things which you can paste in all the disasters, and in the other page just mention the points which are unique to a disaster. So disaster management will not take more than 3 to 4 days. Don't waste much more time in that. In disaster management, you have to also make diagrams. For example, if they ask you regarding your earthquake, You have to make the vulnerability map of India. You have to make the zoning in that which zone is more vulnerable to earthquake, etc. There's one more topic which I missed, that is world history. From the last 2 to 3 years, UPSC is not asking questions from world history. So it's up to you if you have time or if you can take the risk, then you can also take the risk to leave it. But I will advise ki if you have the time, then please read world history, because what happens is the examples of world history can be quoted in essay and ethics paper. So if you have time, then please at least give 2 to 3 weeks to world history. But make sure you are not giving 2 to 3 months to world history, because that's a complete wastage of your time. So for world history, again I referred to few videos in YouTube, and I just referred to few videos in YouTube, and I had made some small notes. There's a notes by rank 4 2018. Uh, that's around 30 pages notes, so that I used to refer for world history. Coming to GS4, so my basic, first I started my preparation by my foundation class. Also I watched few videos of Smriti ma'am. She had covered the few parts like emotional intelligence, then you have your attitude. So those part, the static part, she had covered it quite well. So I also referred to that. Now in ethics, to make your answer unique, you have to write lot of unique examples and case studies. So for that I referred multiple sources, and whenever you are reading newspaper and you come across some unique examples, make sure ki you are compiling that in one place. To make your answer unique, you have to refer to latest case studies and latest examples. So whenever you come, make sure ki in digital notes or in whatever format, I had used digital notes. Whenever I came across some unique examples, I compiled that in one place, and those I used in my final examination. The next part is your essay. In essay, UPSC nowadays they are asking philosophical topics. So in philosophical topics, what you have to do is you have to use your GS knowledge. You don't need any specific content, you don't need any philosophical knowledge, but somehow you have to use your GS knowledge, and that you have to put into a philosophical framework. So the first thing is that you have to understand how to structure your essay, because that is the major part. How do you break down the essay? How do you structure? And for that, you have to understand the meaning of the essay. Please make sure that you are not diverting from the topic, that you are sticking to the exact essay topic. In essay, I had made notes. In my notes, I had around 30 to 40 anecdotes, which I had collected from multiple topper copies. And whenever I came across any good examples from newspaper, which I feel could be used as an essay anecdotes, that also I had compiled. So I will just, to make like how you can break down, I will just give an example. This is the essay topic of Vision IS Abhyas, which I had attempted just before my actual UPSC, and somehow this topic was repeated in actual UPSC, not exactly, but similarly they asked decision making requires logic plus vision. They something like that they had asked in this UPSC exam. So this is a mind, or logic is like a knife or blade. It makes the hand bleed that uses it. So the meaning of this is that you cannot always rely on logic. If you always rely on logic, then it might happen that you will fail in life. Sometimes you have to integrate the role of emotions, the role of emotional intelligence, the role of values. So this is the understanding of the topic which I had. So for that, I started this using an anecdote. So now I had many anecdotes. There was one anecdote which was regarding Mark Shelley novel, that is Frankenstein Monster. So it is regarding a story about how the protagonist, he created a monster, and somehow it harmed him in the later stages of his life. He was using all his scientific knowledge, he was using all his logic, but he lacked the emotions, he lacked the understanding, he lacked the values, and therefore it harmed him in his life later. Eventually it killed all his near and dear ones. So this was my anecdote with which I started my essay. After that, in essay you have to give some connecting dots. Like when you start anecdote, then you link the anecdote with the topic. So then I linked it with the topic, that this is what happens when we use only logic, when we are not using emotions, the values. This is what happens. So that I linked, and then in the third paragraph you have to mention like what all you are going to discuss in this essay. So then I discussed that in this essay I just mentioned a brief idea about what all am I going to talk. Like in this essay I'm going to talk that if I'm just using logic, that will result into a complete disaster, and therefore I have to embrace emotions and ethics in uh, for a sustainable future. So that I discussed in my third paragraph. And then this was my structure, that is a mind or logic successful recipe for disaster. So this is my first subheading. So there I had mentioned giving around 6 to 7 arguments, that how a mind which is just working on logic, that is eventually bound to fail. So for that I gave around 5 to 6 arguments, and for each argument I had an example. My next subheading was that because if I'm using only logic, it is not going to work for a good future. Therefore, I have to use emotions and ethics, and therefore I gave 3 to 4 examples, like how if I'm using emotions and ethics, how is it going to help. So for that also I gave around 3 to 4 arguments, and for each argument I had an example. Now all these examples, it was a mixture of GS 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever I had learned. So I made sure key examples had part of economy also. I'm also somehow linking environment. So I tried to make sure ki GS 1 to 4, whatever I had read in all my arguments and examples, I'm trying to link those. Also my last part was like, how am I going to do this? I talked about logic, I talked about emotions, and my last part was that how am I going to make sure that emotions and ethics are being linked into my logical. So for that I mentioned about value education, critical reasoning, all these things. Now when you read your GS4 and everything, you will come across some unique philosophical concept also, which you can also mention. Like I've just mentioned few, like Descartes' idea of skepticism, or your Ubuntu philosophy, scientific, social. These are some terms which you will come across your entire preparation. So in essay, whenever you are writing, make sure ki whatever unique concepts you have come across your preparation, that somehow just try to link it, because that gives your essay a unique feel. So whatever knowledge I had gained in 2 to 3 years, that I tried to integrate in my essay. So for essay, the only preparation you need to make is prepare anecdotes, prepare few examples, and then practice a lot of essays. And also one thing which I did was last 10 years philosophical topics, just take them out and just do the brainstorming. Like how I just did the brainstorming, this is my structure, my outline. So just do that brainstorming, that if I get this essay, this is how I'm going to structure it, this is how I'm going to break it down, and these are the unique examples which I'm going to add in my essay. So that brainstorming you can do for 20 to 30 essays, and then at least practice 10 essays before your actual UPSC. So join any test series of essay, you will get a lot of test series, and just practice that. And after you have written essay, revisit that essay yourself and think how you can make it more better. Okay, so this is the next part about your answer writing and presentation. This I wrote just few days before mains. This is Abhyas mains. So before actual mains, they do this before 10 to 15 days, where they try to replicate the actual UPSC examination. Like first day there is essay, then GS1, GS2, then GS3, GS4. So, so you can see that what are the important things that I have underlined it, and I have boxed, and I have also made the map. So here the question was regarding the theatre. Okay, so here the question is that how the traditional theatres, how they are reflecting the cultures of India. So, I had break down the question. Can I just zoom it? Okay, so the question is, the traditional theatre forms of India, they reflect the individual ideals and emotions which are reflected, and
the individual's role in the community. So I discussed with examples. So the question had clearly two parts. So whenever you read the question, so first try to identify key questions in how many parts you are breaking it down. So the moment I read the question, I identified key I have to break it down into two parts. Ideal's emotion, second is individual's role. And then the question is discussed with examples. So for every question, I try to give example, like Ideal of Harmony, Ram Leela UP, Muslim youth, they perform Ramayan. So that shows the emotions and all. Then idea of devotion, bhakti, then I gave the example of Yaksh Ganga. And also I did the map, and whatever examples I've written, like Yaksh Ganga is performed in your South India and Ram Leela in UP. So that also I had marked in Indian map. This kind of presentation, it helps to improve at least 0.5. That is what your aim should be. And for examples, I had given boxing, as you can see, so that the examiner clearly gets to know ki example Ram Leela. So that is how I focused on my presentation. And again, your introduction, this is the introduction, this is body subpart 1, subpart 2, and your conclusion. And in subpart 1, you can see I had clearly mentioned the points 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is how you have to practice, and this has to be done within your 7 minutes. 10 marks has to be completed in 7 minutes, and 15 marks 11 minutes. So when I started my answer, I was very bad, and this comes with your multiple practice, multiple revisions. This is again your GS2. So GS2 has a topic regarding your pressure group. So this was a question like how environmental pressure group, how they help to frame your policies and all. So again, now this is a diagram which I had prepared for pressure group. So no matter whatever pressure group came, I replicated that same. So for try to have some unique diagrams for each topics like SHG or pressure groups. And also I had a lot of examples here. Also you can see, like I wrote a point and then I gave an example like ARF Pune or Narmada Bachao Andolon. So you should have multiple examples which you can give. And then at the end I also wrote few challenges. I should have written a way forward, but maybe I did not have time. So in GS2, make sure ki whatever question you are writing, if you are writing challenges, you also have to write way forward. Or maybe in the conclusion you can conclude with way forward. Now this is regarding your GS3. Now this question was regarding your blockchain and chat GPT, like what is their potential. So again, now this is something which I had not prepared beforehand, but this is which I thought on the exam when I read this. This is how I can explain. So this again comes with practice. So this is how I try to explain like how a blockchain can work. Like there can be nodes, there can be new requests. So the same thing, I explained it better using a diagram. So this is what you can make in your answers. And again, it had multiple examples. Then you should have data. For example, I wrote digital divide. I have written which report in Trend in India report, and I clearly like 40% rural India and 70% urban. So this is how facts also you can represent using diagrams. And because I had shortage of timing, so instead of increase, I've given this arrow mark. I don't know if it works or not, but since I was facing lot of shortage of timing, I did this short forms in few of my answers. Now this is your GS4 answer. So in GS4, to make your answers better, it's better to start with a quotation. So this topic was regarding your corporate governance, and I had this quotation in my mind regarding the importance of corporate governance. So I started with that. And again in GS4, you have to give lot of examples. So you can see like how I had given example of Volkswagen or Tom Shoes, Tata. So that I had given, and the benefits. And again, the pattern is roughly the same, but I just wanted to highlight like how in all the papers you have to do the same thing. You have to give examples, you have to highlight it, and wherever possible try to make diagrams. And again, all these things has to be done in 7 minutes for 10 markers and 11 minutes for 15 markers. So this is all I had basically for GS. Now if you want, I can discuss Anthro. You want me to discuss Anthro? Okay. First, shall I discuss the doubts, or we shall start with Anthro? Okay, so I think first we can discuss doubts then, because there may be people who don't have Anthro option. Yeah. So now it depends on your strength area. So so what you can do, like what I did was, I did for 10 days, I did one subject. I completed that.
I came across a new subject, and if I felt like I'm forgetting that, I used to again give 2 to 3 days for the previous subject which I had forgotten. So that you can do. And one more thing you can do is, suppose you have started reading second subject, simultaneously you can give test of the previous subject which you had completed. So in that way you will be in touch with the subject. If it is for prelims, then give at least solve 20 to 30 questions of that previous subject, so that that remains in your mind, you're not forgetting. Or you can do PYQ analysis of the previous subject which you had forgotten. So in that way you have to interlink it, and by multiple revisions you will not forget it. See, my first attempt, I studied around 8 to 10 hours. I used to wake up early around 6 o'clock, and my morning time was from 6 to 11. I used to do my optional part, because I was actually focusing more on mains. For prelims, I read the last 3 months. Um, so I used to give to optional, and then from afternoon 11 to 3 to 4 I did few of classes and YouTube videos, and then my night part was dedicated to current affairs and solving few questions, maybe PYQs of UPSC, or maybe writing 1 to 2 questions from your mains PYQ. So that was how my routine it was in my initial year. Now my routine for prelims to mains will be completely different. I just mentioned for pre to mains. For mains, my routine was very much hectic, because those 3 months they decide your rank. So that was very much hectic. I used to wake up again morning 5 to 6 o'clock. I used to revise everything, and then I used to attempt lot of tests for your mains. Saturday, Sunday, I used to give around 2 tests. In every week, I used to give 2 tests for GS and at least 1 for Anthro. See, anxiety, now that's a very common problem which everyone face, even I faced. So, one thing which I did was, I did meditation, and I also did yoga, and I believed in God a lot, so I worshipped also. So that you can do, and I luckily had my parents with me. So whenever I felt like, I should give up, I went to my mom and I used to vent out all my frustration. I used to cry in front of her, ki I'm not able to read, nahi hoga aur. So that's how you have to find. You can have your close friends. You need someone who can emotionally support you. It can be your parents, it can be your sister, it can be your close friend, anyone. There are also few things like, in your mains time, it's very much hectic. Like you have around 5 days, and there will be night when you will not be able to sleep before your mains. So for that, like I used to take a tablet for my, because I used to get headache, because 6 hours becomes very much hectic. So these things are very much important, like which pen also you are using. I use gel pen. So these are minute things, but they matter for your rank. So make sure कि पहले से you identify which pen you are going to use, and if at all you have some health issues, then make sure कि you are taking tablet or pills for that. I know few friends who even took painkiller, because it gets difficult to write continuously 6 hours, and that is for continuously 1 week. So that thing also you have to be prepared beforehand. Again, for prelims, that 2 hours duration between your GS and CSAT, make sure कि you are eating properly, because if you don't eat, you will not be able to solve CSAT questions. So these are some few things which also matter. Because I'm just talking a brief about Anthro, and then we can start. So for Anthro, now I had no background of Anthro. I belong from computer science. So I took foundation course. Make sure कि within 3 to 4 months you are completing your basic, your static part, the foundation part. And whenever you are doing the class, make sure कि you are making notes from that. Now after you have made your class notes, you need to enrich that. So for that I refer to multiple topper copies. I refer to Amit Narayan sir for physical and biological, the archaeological part, that I referred to his notes. I refer to Mandar Patki sir for social anthropology. Similarly, I refer to Roja ma'am notes for paper 2. Mandar Patki sir notes were enough for paper 2, Indian anthropology part, etc. So that I used to add in my class notes, and my notes became very much comprehensive. After that, now this thing has to be completed within 5 to 6 months, and then you can start your PYQ analysis. So last 5 to 6 years PYQs has to be done very much properly, because that gets somehow repeated. So in that way I covered my PYQs. Now this has to be done before your prelims, and between your pre to mains you can join test series, and please follow the test series properly. If you practice and if you retain it properly, your score will improve consistently. So if you have any doubts, you can ask. See, my motivation was very much simple, that I always wanted to do something which will bring large scale impact, and I felt that this can be done through civil service. And also I wanted to work in a sector where there is a lot of diversity. So this was the reason why I wanted to join IAS, because while I was enjoying my work when I was working as an engineer, but somehow I missed that angle of diversity. I always wanted to experiment and learn something new. When you are starting a preparation, make sure that before pre your optional is done. So for that you can divide it, like in initial 6 months you can dedicate around your 60% time to optional, so that your optional gets done properly. Your rank deciding factor in UPSC is optional. If you are able to reach 290 to 300 in optional, like you are there in top 100 to top 200. So make sure that you are giving around 60% time initially to your optional. And after that, like when you come near to prelims, like last 4 to 5 months, then you can like give more time to GS, because somehow your preparation in mains also helps you to solve few questions in GS prelims. So that is what initial give more time to optional, and then you give time more to GS. Answers initially focus on clearing concepts. You don't need to write answer from day one. Now once you're over with your foundation and notes, then you can start writing answers. You can write PYQs. You can start with PYQs. Write 2 to 3 daily if it is possible. You have to be more ambitious if you want to get rank in top. For prelims, I did not have notes, because since I took foundation course, I had notes that was combined for pre and mains. It was not specific to prelims. I refer to standard books for revision. Like in Lakshmikant, I use color coding scheme. Like first time I will read, I will not underline. Second time if I am forgetting, I will use a different color. For third time a different color. So that is how I used to read the books multiple times. Lakshmikant, Spectrum, all those things. And notes, as I had mentioned, I had notes of all the mistakes which I used to do in my test series. I was very lazy in making notes. See, now this depends on your motivation factor. If you are motivated, automatically you will avoid. One thing is I kept my mobile phone away from me because that's the reason of distraction. I used to give it to my mom every day that you please keep it and don't give it to me. And in night, after I have completed my targets, I take my mobile phone. And also I did not use social media because I feel that is a source of distraction. And I had the motivation that one day I will change my name to Ayushi Pradhan IAS, and that is when I will be reinstalling social media. So that was my motivation. Now I cannot predict, but maybe like there's a talk that there's a lot of issue regarding your scaling in optional. Few optionals are doing very good, and so maybe they can remove optional, but that is not sure. It's difficult to predict. And CSAT was tougher, which was not fair for the humanities students. So maybe this year they can give a bit tough, like a bit less tough CSAT. No, I did not practice CSAT. I had actually prepared for MBA during my engineering, so I did not need to prepare anything for CSAT. Once you are done with your foundation, like it depends like how much time you have. Do you have 1 year or 2 year? No, you can complete one subject and then you can start its answer writing. So that will be actually better, because if you wait for completing all the subjects, it will be too late, and you will not learn like how to improve your answers or how to present it better. So once you are completing a subject, it's better that you start the answer writing, because in your mains ultimately it is not how much you know, it is how much you are able to present in that given amount of time. How much you're able to recall in that 7 minutes for that 10 minutes. So that actually matters. So practice as much as you can. Few notes from like that was a note which I had subject wise, and there I used to clip few more A4 sheets paper, and there I used to make like few more notes. So it was not completely, but yeah, mixture of hand notes and that. No, you don't need to make entire notes, because daily you will read newspaper and you cannot, it is not possible that every day you read newspaper and make your own notes. So don't do that, it's a wastage of time. Refer to any standard coaching materials, and from there you can just clip on your own handmade notes. Yes, before mains you need revision, but again that short notes has to contain only value addition part, because whatever basic things that anyhow till that time you will be able to write in exam. So just like I had value addition for example GS2. So there I had mentioned whatever topic wise, whatever Supreme Court judgment I knew, whatever committees I knew, whatever examples I knew, whatever diagrams I had. So only those things, and it will take hardly your 5 to 10 A4 sheets paper, and that is the only thing which I will revise just before mains. Like I had given 3 interviews. My first interview I had Chauve sir's board, and they asked me regarding my home state and few very much dynamic things from economy. So that went very dynamic. Second interview, Smita ma'am's board. Now she asked me regarding my hobbies, few questions, and few questions again from my home state. And this time I had Raj Shukla's sir's board, and my entire interview went regarding my home state. And few from my service, because I am already in service. So few questions from there. So it's mostly like you will get questions from your home state, from your district, from whatever experience you have in your life. Then you get a detailed application form which you have to fill. So there you have to mention about your interest areas, about your hobbies, about your position of leadership, about whatever achievements you have made in life. And mostly the questions are framed regarding that. It depends, like some boards they do ask, but it depends, like if you are a fresh candidate who has just graduated, they will ask. But if you have a gap of 3 to 4 years and you have some work experience, mostly they will ask you regarding your work experience, because they also understand like it's not possible for someone after 4 to 5 years to remember your graduation subject. How will the evaluator give you marks? Acha, how many marks? See, the more better you write, you will obviously get more marks. Maybe 0.5. I have not evaluated, but maybe you will get 0.5 extra than other people who have not mentioned those judgments. Yeah, like 2023, this year they had changed the pattern. They had completely eliminated the elimination technique which used to work earlier. So for that, the only thing is that you have to read more. There is no other solution. And I think still they have elimination. It's not completely eliminated. 50% questions you can solve through elimination. For 50% that eliminated. You have to take the risk call. Like I attempted around 95 questions, and I knew that if I'm attempting 95, minimum 30 questions I will do wrong. So 95 questions I attempted, 65 correct, 30 wrong, and my net marks reached around 100. So by giving lot of test series, you have to find out like how many you should attempt, how much is your accuracy, so that you have to devise as per your strength. In my case, I was very clear, I will be attempting 95. I will leave 5 to 10, I will attempt 90 to 95, and 30 questions to galat hoga hi hoga. I was completely sure. So that is how you have to know your strength, and that comes with practice. So find out your accuracy. No, when I used to attempt test series initially, I started by attempting 80 questions. I used to leave 20 questions. Then I saw that my marks is becoming like 70, 80s. So then I increased my attempt. I started taking more risk. And I understood that if I'm taking risk, my score is increasing. And I also get to know that my intuition is correct. Whatever I'm feeling at the first instance, now that is correct. If I'm changing it, like what happens is, I feel this is the option at the first glance. And then second time I overthink and I change it. And 90% time they are wrong. So that is what I came to know कि जो मुझे first time लग रहा है मुझे वही करना है. I don't have to overthink. So that is what I derived from my own analysis. So that you have to devise for your कि आपको हो सकता है कि in second thing जो आपको लग रहा है वो सही हो. मेरे केस में नहीं था वो. So that you have to devise as per your. And I also had the world map in my study table. उसको मैं बार बार देखती थी. उससे हो जाता है. And yeah, few you can also, I think there's a book, I'm forgetting the name, Prem Patel या something, that also you can refer. Newspaper. See, newspaper, I have read newspaper only during my interview phase. For prelims mains मैं बहुत newspaper नहीं पढ़ती थी क्योंकि possible नहीं था मेरे लिए, because एक साल में मुझे attempt देना था. So newspaper I found it useful only for my interview preparation. बाकी as I told you newspaper में नहीं पढ़ती थी. I refer current affairs notes, I refer to जो भी mains 365 वही सब. And अगर मुझे कुछ value addition करना होता था I used to search the keywords in Google. And suppose I want to know about something, I used to read Indian Express explained in Google search about the topic, and that I used to read. Like in Rose newspaper, it was not possible for me because when I started preparation, I was not able to understand also the editorials. So without having your foundation course, without having your polity economy, it becomes difficult. So don't waste your time newspaper के पीछे 4 to 5 hours. So don't do that mistake. I thought initially कि I should read. I even tried, but I failed. So I changed my strategy. Yes, I read monthly, but again I was not very much consistent in that. So at the end I referred PT 365, which is for your prelims, and mains 365, which is compilation of your mains. See, it depends upon your retention power. Instead of hours, you should have fixed target. Ki in this month I will be completing this subject. I will be completing this part. So that consistency, and you can also join test series so that at least you know ki by this month I have to anyhow complete this sectional. So that way you can maintain. In my case I used to devote 8 to 10 hours. See, first mistake was I never focused on presentation in my answer. I did not underline anything. I did not write lot of examples. So that was first. Second is my major flaw was optional. As I mentioned, I scored just 226. So I came to know ki optional is the only reason for which I'm not selected. And in my second attempt, I worked on optional. My foundation of optional were not clear in first attempt. So in second attempt, I took help from sir, and I worked on my concepts, and then I improved my optional score. No, see, initially it becomes very difficult. This happens after you are once you are thorough with your syllabus now. After that only you can start preparing, because in initial time just by one reading it is impossible to prepare. So this can be done with between your pre to mains, because before that you have completed your entire syllabus and multiple times you have read for prelims. So between that time you can practice your PYQs and you can do mind maps. Yes, in exam also you can also make. If you practice lot of maps, you can also like it comes instantly also you can design. But it depends on how much practice you have done beforehand. After writing so many test series and answers, now you get an idea like how. And there are some questions which are very technical. If you write anything nonsense, they will give you 0, because I don't think UPSC gives you marks for writing beyond the topic. I remember in 21 I had left 1 to 2. In economy I had left one question, and that time the score highest was around 100 something, and I got 91 to 92, which was one of good score for GS3, because GS3 had dipped nowadays. So if you don't know something, just attempt it at the last May, and don't bluff. At initial questions, don't bluff, because I believe that if you bluff, the examiner will lose that trust in you, and they will give you very less marks. So if you don't know, it's better to leave a question. You can take risk of leaving one question minimum. I was in Indian Defence Estate. So there, I'm undergoing my training, and it's a good service. I joined my training after my mains, and I was only preparing for interview during my training part. So that was not a hindrance, because in interview you just need 2 to 3 hours. And interview is all about your personality. So when you are in training, your personality somehow improves. Yes, I have my Telegram channel. You can search Ayushi Pradhan IS, you will get. I have used gel pen personally, so yes, you can use gel pen. You can use V7, that is also good, and yeah, you can use, because that helped me to improve my handwriting and my speed. But I have used gel pen, and I know many toppers who have used gel pen, so you can use it. It depends on your background. If you have a background which somehow it has linkages with the optional, you can choose that. Second is look that do you have enough guidance for that subject. For Anthro, there was proper guidance, there is proper resource, proper coaching, and also look at the syllabus, like is it too fast and how much time you have. So that, look into that. and also just skim through the syllabus and see if it interests you. Like in my case, anthropology was exciting because I had some knowledge about biology. Genetics forms a major part, genetics and physical anthropology, and somehow I had interest in biology. So just see that do your interest converge or not. And also one more thing is that look at the last year toppers mark. There are few optionals which are doing very great, so you can take that. There are few optionals which are not doing that great, so it's advisable if you don't take such optionals. No, see, what happened is I gave 2021 attempt, and then I was waiting for my result. So after 5 days only I had prelims, and then I had just 3 months for my mains. So I hope you understand. So yeah, then again I have to appear for 22 interview result, and then again 4 days after I had prelims, and then again 3 months mains. So I was somehow getting stuck in the UPSC cycle also, and I was getting frustrated for that also. But yeah, and I had prepared for prelims only once in 21, because 22 23 I just had 4 days. So I just revised my concepts of economy, polity, and PYQs. That's it. Yes, you can join mentorship. You can join some good mentorship, because I had also benefited from mentorship programs and all. So just see some mentorship which many toppers had joined, and you can also join. There is no harm in that. Like in GS or in optional. In which subject you require, or entire GS? Like I have taken online. I never stayed in Delhi. I took help from online only. If you are in Delhi, you can take offline, or if you have offline access, offline is always better because you get that one-to-one interaction. So that is always better. But I never had the option of offline, so I always choose online. I took lot of help from actually videos and all, because it gets very boring to read the things. So you can take help from YouTube or whatever. There are a lot of free videos nowadays. So I would suggest that take help from videos and whatever free resource you come across. Uh, you can also search alternatives. Like I cannot just say one. There might be better also. So just search in net, or read about some reviews and all, and then you can take your own decision. So it was never easy for me. The only thing, as I told, that in my first attempt I had practiced a lot of questions, lot of test series, and I had proper analysis of PYQs. And again, my static part was strong. Focus more on your static part. I have seen people are devoting more time on current affairs, but that is not the right thing to do. Focus more on the static part. So my static part was very clear, like polity, economy, the conceptual clarity I think I had, that was very much strong. So that actually, without revising also, I could attempt in subsequent attempts. And then I think practice and clarity, that's a two thing. So, sorry. For prelims, I refer to mains 365. For prelims, there are two subjects which has more weightage, like for current affairs, environment and science and tech. So that you can refer to 2 to 3 coaching. Baki polity, economy, that much they ask more from static, and history to it is static. So it's only science and tech and environment. So focus on those two current affairs. You can refer to 2 to 3 sources and focus more on that. For prelims or mains? For prelims, when you see a question, first look at the options, and whatever wrong options you are getting, first you try to identify how you are able to reach at the correct options, like how you are able to eliminate. So elimination tricks and examiner's mindset, like how he is confusing you between two options. So that I used to understand. And then there are some parts which has very much like there is no elimination technique, very static parts are there, especially in environment. So in one question there will be around 4 to 5 species. So I will make notes about each and every species which they had asked in that question. So that next year it might happen that directly or indirectly question from that species which they had in one of the options that might get repeated. For mains, again, it's about practice. I used to identify the major themes. Whenever I'm reading, suppose world history. Now world history, I will skim through the questions, and I will get to know that there are around 5 to 6 areas from which they're asking. For example, French Revolution, American Revolution, Russian Revolution, or World War I, World War II. So these are the themes which I identified that they are asking more from this part. So first I will focus more on those parts which UPSC is repeatedly asking. So it's like 80%, 20%. There are 80% question is being asked from a particular area, from a major theme. So first you identify those themes, and then you focus preparation more on those. And 20 percentage will be from vast area, like which is not that much important. So in that way you have to prioritize, because you have very much less time for this. It's such a huge course and your time is less. So if you analyze properly, you will get to know that which area you should focus more. Yeah, I think it's a very relevant question, because during menstruation, females, they do face mood swings, and even in my case also, I think that's the time when I feel I should give up, because your emotional level is very much down at that time. So again, the solution is same, that take help from your close people, from your mother, from your close friends. Just go, just vent out your emotions. Sometimes it's important to cry also. So just vent out your emotions, don't keep it to yourself. You will be having close people, cry in front of them, because in my case I always used to vent out my emotions. I never kept it within me. So once I went out, I feel relieved. So you can do that. And second is always take some small breaks. Maybe you can go for traveling 1 to 2 days, or you can have party with your friends. So take few breaks also. Don't be too much hard and rigid on yourself. If you love traveling, do that, and whatever hobbies you have, you can also pursue that. And take small breaks also, because it's a very long journey. You will get frustrated, so do take breaks, and also give reward to yourself. See, toughest phase was getting stuck in the cycle. I used to expect ki just before the result, I used to expect ki I'm going to become an officer, and I will see my name is not in the list, because once you have reached interview, your expectation increases like anything. After reaching the 3 phases, prelims, mains, and then interview, and then not seeing your name in that list in 21, I think that was the point when I was very much like depressed and all. And just 4 days after I had prelims. So those 4 days were very much depressing, because I was crying at the same time I was reading. So that was like, I think that is where they checked my mental strength also. So just you will see your name is not in the list, and then appearing for the prelims in 4 to 5 days, that was very much tough for me, I think. I had made notes from my PYQ, and I also had made notes from whatever mistakes I'm making in my test series. So I used to revise those notes, and polity economy I used to revise those 2 subjects, because again there was my strength. I knew कि यहाँ से तो मैं गलती नहीं करना है anyhow. So I used to revise those 2 subjects. Because science environment, no matter how much you read, there is no guarantee you will get questions from those areas and those. So it was futile to revise those 2 subjects. So I revised these 2 subjects. So I had joined, I had initial my class notes, and then I took value addition from lot of topper notes, like Amit Narayan sir and Mandar Patki sir. So from their copies, I used to find out the unique examples and case studies, and that I added in my class notes. And along with that, I also had I had separate notes for PYQs. I had complete notes of PYQs also. So that helped me in Anthro. Any more question, or I think we shall wind it up? Yeah, I did job, and then I started preparation to 21 was my first attempt. So I just had 1 year. And that was the reason why I scored so less in Anthro, because without having any background in just 1 year, I was not able to, and I also was not getting proper guidance in Anthro in my first year. Somehow I got, I was a bit misguided. I joined some wrong, the coaching which I joined that were not up to that mark. So therefore I scored very less in Anthro. For GS, I had joined the foundation course, so that, and along with that I started also personal self-study I started. Like I took a lot of toppers videos I had used to watch, and I used to find out which sources they were referring, and then I had also started self-study. So within 7 to 8 months, I had a basic idea of all the GS subjects. But my optional was getting affected because of GS. So I think we shall wind it up. So thank you. So I have my Telegram channel and I also have my Insta ID. So if you have any doubt, you can reach out to me. Maybe like if I come for some live sessions or something, I will try to collect all the doubts which you have and I will try to address. So thank you. You will get it by my name, Ayushi Pradhan. Ayushi Pradhan IAS, you will get by the